up at the conference.
But that it was actually that his belief was that to attain that altitude, they used the jet fuel in combination with hydrogen, and it's his belief that they filled the hydrogen bottle only halfway, so they knew at a predetermined time when it would have to come down, not crash, but come down to an altitude at which the MiGs could intercept. And I thought, well, that because they were trying to scuttle the talks.
The people they're willing to sacrifice along the way. I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Well, my feeling always was that Lee was sent over there to scuttle the peace talks. That was the whole purpose of it.
Yeah, whenever there's a peace talk on the horizon, look out for another crisis. They'll do it whatever they can to say, no, it's canceled.
Or one of the economic summits, right? The G20 or,
Instead of saying the other way around, well, we need it more because of it. It's like, no, it's off. Because you're being naughty.
What do you guys think of all these daily shootings? Daily.
Like all these,
hospital. I mean, every time I turn my phone on, it's sick.
Don't turn your phone on anymore.
Yeah.
I did actually stop watching the news a couple of years ago.
I did too. My TV broke and I just never looked back. Seriously, I'm like...
TV couldn't take it either.
It made me feel so stressful all the time. You'd watch it and I'd get so angry. And I found like I was really angry all the time. I was like, okay, this is not good.
It changed my life to give it up. I'm like, wow, I'm without TV and I don't even miss it.
What was brought up at the conference? You're not uninformed, misinformed.
You're misinformed, right?
If you watch it. So
I still kept on with other things.
That's right.
And now I do watch. I did get back into it a little bit, but for a couple of years.
I watch TV. I just don't watch the news.
Yeah.
Well, David didn't answer the phone. That's interesting.
That's not Judy? That wasn't Judy.
Are you going to be working on another book then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got one or two more left in me.
Is the Pope Catholic?
Can I ask you a logistics question about writing?
Sure.
How do you keep track of all the notes and everything when you're putting a book together?
Well, the first two books I wrote on typewriters. I'll never do that.
I bet.
Word processors make it so much easier. You just put it in there. I write stream of consciousness, and just as I get the idea, I'll write it down, and if I get another idea that belongs somewhere else, I go to that point, put it in. You can do that on a word processor. You just can't do that.
So you just create a file and create chapters and.
You can have one for the entire book. You can have one for individual chapters. However you want to do it, and just write it, and when it gets heavy enough, it gets big enough, move stuff around. Just take a whole block and move it, or I never thought I'd write one book, never mind 14.
Oh wow! And then all your photographs, you must have to really keep those cataloged and indexed somehow.
Those are filing cabinets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have somebody to help you with that?
No, that's
really? You do it all yourself?
Yeah, Jim Marr he introduced me to his neighbor, who is his organizer. And she kind of has always done that as a living. And I think she lives 6 houses down the street or something.
I didn't have anybody like that. That's probably why it took 15 years to write this book. Actually, this book was ready years ago, but I was waiting. I wanted to include a lot more stuff. And because of the non-disclosure agreement I had with the government when I went to work for the House Assassinations Committee, a lot of stuff couldn't go in. But then it was announced by Professor Blakey, of all people, that the non-disclosure agreement was unenforceable and illegal. So I went back and just expanded and expanded and expanded.
Why was it not enforceable?
It was illegal. It was suppression. Yeah, so it was. They forced everybody to sign this document if they wanted to work for the committee. Professor Blakey wasn't there at the beginning anyway, so it was.
I know who that
is. It was Richard Sprague at first, and Sprague was a good guy. Tom Downing was one of the great people of all time, as far as I'm concerned. He was the fellow who introduced legislation to create the committee in the first place. He's the one who hired me.
When we went down that.
There is a white car coming.
People we
Is
got
that what
lost.
they're in, a white one?
Well, I heard someone say
Tour was.
Dave drives a white car.
I was driving Judyth.
Well, I was with Dave.
I kept trying to get her. You got to focus. Tell me which way to
I
go.
know.
I don't know.
It's hard.
It was.
Things have changed so much, I'm sure. She was the one giving you directions.
That's
We
good.
should have known
I'm
that
sorry.
was a pro-
I'm sorry. I just spent 3 days driving her around Austin, so I know how he feels.